thousands of miles west of Siberia and hundreds of miles west of Moscow lies an exclave of Russia on the shores of the Baltic Sea. Tonight, Jack Daly uncovers Russia's geopolitical stronghold, Kaliningrad. To understand the geopolitics of this region, we must first define A2AD. First coined in the 2000s in the wake of Russian military expansion, this term refers to a state with the abilities to prevent another state from operating in a certain zone. This is usually done by military force. Put simply, it is short for anti-access and area denial. Before we return to A2AD, let's take a trip through the history of Kaliningrad. Prior to the 1940s, Königsberg, as the city was called, was located in East Prussia. However, in 1945, the Soviets under Joseph Stalin captured the city and controlled 926 kilometers of Baltic coastline. They brought along with them navy and troops. The Soviets developed the region and constructed symbols of power such as the House of Soviets to show their dominance and new form of government and politics over the formerly German land. This geopolitical strategy was used to symbolize the defeat of fascism. In the following Cold War decades, troops in Kaliningrad increased to perhaps 100,000 or more, equipped with advanced radar systems and missiles. Meanwhile, as Soviet forces grew, NATO, or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was created as a countermeasure to Soviets in Central and Eastern Europe. NATO laid out a plan of defense for its member states against the newly formed Warsaw Pact of Eastern European countries. In 1991, the USSR broke up, and military expenditures in Kaliningrad decreased and troops were reduced by approximately 3/4. However, after 1999, military presence was increased by President Boris Yeltsin, who emphasized the strategic location of the oblast and reinforced the defense strategies that could be put in place here. Over the past decade, Iskander-M and S-400 Growler missiles have been deployed in the region, and naval complexes have been restored. The remilitarization of Kaliningrad has become apparent. Kaliningrad is located in between two NATO member states along the Baltic Sea, Lithuania and Poland. This complicates NATO's ability to reinforce its member states by air and sea, as decided on by the Wales Summit Action Plan. Russia can deny NATO access to the air and sea around Kaliningrad, an example of A2AD. The Growler and Iskander missiles, as well as bastions, can reach hundreds of miles outside Kaliningrad into NATO territory, making this a geopolitical stronghold. However, Kaliningrad is itself an exclave of Russia surrounded by NATO member states, which gives, in a way, an advantage to NATO in a case of war. The exclave could become a hostage to NATO. With all of this in mind, NATO and Russia seek to have peace in the Baltic region so that a situation does not escalate.